GMKtec EVO-T1 AI Mini PC Workstation, the underrated expansion beast you've been missing.
You sit down at your clean desk, open your project, and feel that familiar spark. Then it begins. The slight hesitation when you add another layer, the fans gradually rising, the external drive you have to plug in again because storage ran out last month. You close a few tabs to keep things moving, tell yourself it's fine, it's always been this way. But the real price isn't the lag itself, it's the momentum you lose, the idea that fades while you wait, the quiet resignation that real power always demands a tower, cables, noise, and space you don't have. And in that moment, you think, there has to be something I'm missing, doesn't there?
Week by week, the small frictions add up. 10 extra minutes waiting for a render here, 20 minutes moving files to yet another external drive there. You spend hundreds on cloud rendering or another 2 terabyte SSD that still isn't enough. Your desk slowly fills with dongles, hubs, and drives because nothing ever quite expands the way you need. The warmth rises from the laptop on your lap. The fans whine in the evening when everyone else is trying to relax. And you catch yourself scaling back projects before they even begin, just to avoid the inevitable choke. Time slips away. Money disappears. Peace erodes. And worst of all, you start believing this is as good as it gets. The ambition you had last year quietly shrinks to fit the machine you own today. And it never announces itself. It just keeps bleeding you, one unnoticed drop at a time.
This is where the GMKtec EVO-T1 AI Mini PC Workstation enters, and everything changes. It's simply the first mini PC that refuses to make you choose between size and power. A 16-core Core Ultra 9 285H with built-in AI NPU, 64 GB DDR5, and most importantly, an Oculink port that connects any desktop GPU at near-native PCIe by 4 speeds with one cable. Quiet superpowers you feel immediately. 3 M.2 slots ready for 12 terabytes or more whenever you need it. Quad 8K display output that turns your desk into a proper cockpit. 64 gigabytes RAM that laughs at 50-tab Chrome plus Premiere plus Docker. Advanced vapor chamber cooling that stays silent until you actually push it. And Oculink, meaning you can close the lid on towers forever, yet still run an RTX 4090 when you want. One creator I know went from choking on 4K raw timelines on his laptop to buttery smooth 6K edits on the EVO-T1 alone, then plugged in his 4080 HP at home and played at 4K 120 frames per second on ultra-wide. He sent me a message that just said, "Wait, this is actually allowed?"
From the first boot, you feel snappier response, zero beach balls, timelines that don't stutter. Within a week, you're finishing projects in hours instead of days. Over months, you add drives, swap GPUs, scale exactly as your work grows, never replacing the machine, just growing with it. Real benchmarks show the Ultra 9 285H trading blows with last-generation desktop i9s in multi-threaded work while sipping power. Users report replacing $4,000 tower workstations and gaining performance plus desk space. One studio deployed 15 units, 0 failures after 6 months, lower electric bills, happier editors. Reviewers who've tested every mini PC released in the last 3 years consistently call the EVO-T1 the most complete, most flexible, and highest spec machine in the category. Unlike everything else that solders RAM or skips proper expansion or forces Thunderbolt eGPU bottlenecks, the EVO-T1 simply gives you grown-up options in a box the size of a novel. I noticed after 3 weeks that I hadn't once thought about my computer. It had become invisible, the way the best tools do.
The deepest gift is the calm that comes when your machine finally disappears and only your work remains. No more negotiating with limitations, no more quiet apology for what you could have created if only the hardware kept up. Today is the day that ends. Everything is in stock, ready to ship and waiting for you. Link in the description. First one pinned to the top. Click it now, set it up this weekend, and next week you'll wonder why you ever accepted anything less. I promise, this is the one we've all been waiting for.